Ash Wednesday, the first day of Lent, is my favorite celebration on the Catholic calendar. That's the day all Catholics should go to church and receive the ashes of the palm fronds saved from last year's Palm Sunday. For those that don't know, the priest puts his thumb in the ashes and then makes the sign of the cross on your forehead while saying, "Remember, man, you are dust, and to dust you shall return." I love it. Even the most egoistical of us should take those words to heart. The priest is telling us how insignificant we are in the whole scheme of things. We are dirt, and one day we will be dirt again. Wow. Anyway, let me tell you about this one, Ash Wednesday. I had an early meeting at work, and when I passed the church to get my ashes, there was a line out the door. I had to skip it and get to work. My boss knows I am a practicing Catholic, and when I explained my dilemma to him, he agreed to let me take a long lunch. At 11 a.m., I left work and drove to the church. There was no line, and I got my ashes, and then knelt in a pew for a few minutes of silent prayer. I thanked God for all my blessings. I have a beautiful wife of 5 years. We both have good jobs. She is a nurse for a plastic surgeon. I am a private investigator or bodyguard. We lease a beautiful home and have an option to buy. In 2 months, we will take the option, and then next year we are going to start a family. As I stood to leave, I swear I heard God laughing. Or was he crying? Maybe that was just my imagination playing a trick on me. I was debating on whether to stop and get some fried chicken or maybe a couple of Big Macs when I remembered that spiral-cut ham we had in the refrigerator. I decided to stop by the house and make a sandwich of that ham with some honey mustard and a big dill pickle. In minutes, I was pulling into our driveway. I figured there was no use opening the big garage door as I was only going to be here a few minutes, so I parked in the drive and entered the garage through the side door. There was Mary's car. Oh, hell, she must have gotten sick at work. I opened the door into the house. It leads into the laundry room, then into the kitchen. I was in the kitchen when I heard them. "Your breasts are really beautiful." Whoever he is right. She had a boob job about 3 months ago, and they are spectacular. And they are still so sensitive. I think this is one of my best jobs. Now I know who is with Mary, her boss. I quietly walk through the kitchen and into the den. There on the couch are Mary's scrubs and the doctor's polo shirt and pants lying across a chair. I stop and pick up his pants. They contain a wallet and a cell phone. No car keys since they came in her car. I am familiar with this cell phone as I have one just like it. I set it to start recording, then took off my sports coat and laid it on the couch. With the cell phone recording, I walk down the hall and stand at my bedroom door. I was unnoticed for about 30 seconds. During this time, I watched as this skinny doctor, who was about 40 years old, engaged intimately with my 27-year-old wife. They looked like they were both enjoying themselves until I loudly cleared my throat. "Oh, shit!" screamed the doctor. "Please don't kill me. I have kids!" He is up off Mary in a second and is standing by the bed with his hands in front of his private parts. He is scared to death. Mary picked up a pillow and held it in front of her. Maybe here is where I should tell you what the doctor is looking at and why he is so scared. My name is Tommy Rexel, better known as T-Rex to my friends. I stand 6'4" tall in my bare feet. Today I have on my size 14 boots, which puts me at about 6'5". I weigh 245 pounds and can bench press twice my weight. The sleeves of my black t-shirt are straining to contain my biceps. I have already told you that I was hired as a bodyguard. I have a concealed carry permit, and my 9mm is in the shoulder holster under my left arm. On the wall behind the doctor are all the awards I have won over the last few years. There is a pistol expert badge I won while serving in the Corps, weightlifting titles from as far back as high school, and a third-degree black belt certificate won last year. I can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. The problem the doctor has is I am not feeling very friendly at this moment. I take a deep breath in through my nose and exhale noticeably out my mouth. Tommy, this is not what you are thinking. Let me explain. Mary sounded worried, so I decided to listen to what she had to say. I'm thinking I just caught my wife with her boss in our bed. I hope you are not about to say, who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? Because that might just piss me off enough to pull on you both, I answered. The doctor has found his boxers and has put them on. He is trying to decide if he should jump out the window or try to get around me. No, Tommy, I'm going to tell you the truth so we can get past this. Please put your cell phone away. I put it in my shirt pocket but did not turn it off. Go ahead, explain. But no lies. Remember when I wanted a breast job? Okay. I did not want to use the money we were saving to buy this house, so I made a deal with Dr. Allen here. She points to the doctor and nods. He nods back. That's right, she did. I do this sometimes. You know, make a deal with some of my better-looking patients. You know, the ones who are a little short on cash. I sleep with them a few times to make up the difference. So, how long have you been with my wife? I asked. Then they made a mistake. Mary said 2 months, and the doctor said 3 at the same time. No, it's just been 2 months. A couple of times a week, but this was the last time. I operated on a red-haired stripper last month, and she is going to start paying me next week. Mary and I are finished as of today, I promise. The doctor is nodding his head and grinning at Mary. I might not be the smartest person in this room, but I can tell when someone is peeing on my leg and telling me it's raining. I played along. Well, that's good to know. Your debt is paid in full, right? They both nodded. Yes. Now, why don't you two get your clothes on and go back to work? I need to get going also. They look at each other. I'm sure thinking that I bought that line of bullshit. What idiots! They think this is over. They both hurried into the den where they dressed in just a few minutes. I watched and played with the phone. Mary gave me a kiss on the cheek and thanked me for being so understanding. The doctor was looking under the chair and asked, "Have you seen my phone? I must have dropped it." "No, here it is." I threw it to him. It took a minute, but he finally realized what I had done. "Mary, we need to get back to the office. He emailed a video message to everyone in my contacts. I'm ruined." Mary did not bother to try and kiss me or even say goodbye. They both just hurried out the door. I heard the big garage door open and her car back out of the driveway, then race off down the street. I called my office and explained to my boss what had happened. He gave me the rest of the day off. I packed everything I wanted into a couple of old sea bags and 3 suitcases. I loaded them in my truck and drove to an extended stay motel. Mary did call a few times later that afternoon, but I blocked her number. 4 days later, she was served with divorce papers. My divorce worked its way through the court in about 4 months. The doctor's second wife also divorced him. He was already paying alimony and child support to his first wife, so that meant he was now paying 2 alimonies and 3 child support payments. He might have been able to handle that. I mean, plastic surgeons make big money. Except when the state medical board received a copy of the video with both Mary and him explaining how the doctor exchanged sex for services, the shit hit the fan. That earned him a suspension of his license to practice. It was only for 3 months since he argued that it was a lie that he and Mary told when they were caught. He admitted the affair had been going on for 4 months and claimed that Mary seduced him. Who knows what the truth is? Who cares? Certainly not me. I caught my wife with her boss in our bed. I have the video to prove it. End of story. I had seen Mary around town a few times, but had not talked to her since she left with the doctor that Ash Wednesday. At lunch one day, 3 years later, she unexpectedly sat down at my table. "Finally, Tommy. How have you been?" "Okay," I replied. "Tommy, I want you to know that I made the biggest mistake of my life when I made that deal with the doctor. But I did it for us. I knew you loved big bazookas, and I wanted to give you something special." She doesn't know that I read the minutes from the licensing board. But I let her talk. Those breast implants turned out to be a very bad idea. One leaked silicone into my body. I had to take out a loan from the credit union at the hospital where I worked to have them both removed. Now I look terrible. Sorry to hear that. I really was. So, you're not working for the doctor anymore? I asked. Oh no, that pretty much ended when you caught us. His wife divorced him. He closed his practice here and moved to Oregon. He works at a hospital there in Portland. You guys keep in touch? I asked. No, not really. I hear rumors, around the hospital. My bullshit detector just went off. Tommy, you know I loved you. I always have. Hell, I probably always will. She reached across the table and grabbed one of my hands before I could move it back. My bullshit detector now sounds like a fire alarm. Tommy, I was wondering if there is any chance you and I... She did not get to finish. Tommy, why don't you introduce me to your friend? Wife number 2 meet ex-wife number 1, I replied. Mary took one look at Linda, my wife of 18 months, and got up from the table. She looked at me and said, I'm sorry, Tommy. Then she almost ran out of the restaurant. She's probably on her way to Portland to see if the doctor can repair her breasts. Are you thinking of leaving us and going back to wife number 1? She is grinning as she says that, so I know it is meant as a joke. Us? Let me explain. Linda is 7 months pregnant with our twin boys. Not hardly, baby. How did the appointment go with the Obgyn? Perfect. We are right on schedule. But there is one problem. What? I asked nervously. We're starved. Get us a menu. I motioned for the waitress to bring her a menu and smiled as she ordered for 3. Remember, man, you are dust, and to dust you shall return. The priest reminds us of that once more at a funeral. Dust to dust. Ashes to ashes, dirt to dirt. What a great definition for the word divorce. We all must learn not to take everything so seriously. Just move on. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.